This is Jeff. Jeff, just like you and me, came to this world with no value, no plans, and no future. The only thing that Jeff had at this very moment in his life was time, and more than anyone else in the world. Because guess what? Jeff's journey just began. Fast forward 58 years into the future, and yeah, this is Jeff, one of the richest men in the world, with a lot less time, but more money than any one person could utilize in a lifetime. Then there's you. You, just like Jeff, came into this world with no value, no plans, and no future. All that you had was time. But this is you now. Granted, you may not be 58 years old, and maybe you're in your 20s or 30s, but what do you have to show for it? You have little to no money, and a lot less time than you had a while ago, but as the days go by, your life just seems pointless. Maybe you're in a mediocre job that you got out of college and from a transition to your dream job, or maybe you're still in college or still in school looking for that next interview or that next internship that really only 1 in a million people are gonna get. But you know, maybe if you work hard and get straight A's, that could be you. You could have that opportunity. Or maybe you'll get that raise. Maybe you're in a job where you're stuck on that 9 to 5, but you'll get that raise from $20 an hour to $23 an hour just in the next few months. All of this optimism, all of this dreaming and fantasizing, while there's still a credit card bill to pay, you still have student loans, you still have your house mortgage, your car payments, phone bills, electric services, and whatever else you need in this modern society to live, you still have to pay for. You still have to find ways to use that money to live your everyday life, the food you eat, the places you go to. Heck, you're not gonna travel anywhere because you don't have time, because you're stuck in this monotonous life. Meanwhile, you get on social media and you see your friends, your previous peers that were in the same place that you were, grew up in the same hometown, went to the same college. They're living extravagant, extraordinary lives. They're going traveling places that no one's ever been. They're eating all the luxury foods, hanging out with famous, rich people. But you're still stuck in your own little world. Why does he get all that luxury, and why does he get to have all those situations even though y'all were in the same situation just a few years ago? You might think it's hard work, maybe it's dedication, maybe he found something that you didn't find, maybe there's a connection that he had, some person that he knew that you didn't. Or maybe there was a secret formula. Maybe he found the equation that only the rich and wealthy upper class people know. Well, we're gonna be diving into that today. But don't get me wrong, it's not gonna be easy. Just like the Matrix, most people are not ready to be unplugged. And honestly, some of them will go so far and are so desperately inclined in this system that they will fight for their lives to protect it. So, if you're truly ready to be unplugged, let's dive in. Maybe you were born in poverty. Maybe there are certain characteristics that don't allow you to get into these certain elite clubs that many of these wealthy people reside in. Maybe you've been told something different than what they have. What do you believe? You see, the mainstream media and Hollywood tends to portray wealthy individuals as greedy, as capitalists who take money from people and steal it. Or maybe they were given it at birth by a trust fund, right? In fact, 65% of all billionaires are self-made. They're just like you and me. See, the only difference from them to you is that you see money as a salary that you get from a job that you work. You work and get paid for the things that you complete. Makes sense, right? But the wealthy, they see money as exchange for time. They see the only true value that us as humans possess is their time. Nobody wants to die because that means their value is over. The game is over. But you're not even aware of that. You think that you have so much time that you can trade that to become wealthy. When in fact, if you're working a job behind a salary, then you're essentially trading your most important resource for a piece of paper. If it isn't obvious already, this simple idea alone is what's keeping you broke. You see, being broke is not a side effect of the lack of ability or a lack of connections or even a lack of education. No, being broke is a side effect to a poor ideology. The ideology that has been programmed in us from generation to generation. The same ideology that is keeping you poor. But it doesn't stop there. No, in the recent years, there's been a rapid acceleration in what we call the wealth gap. This is the area between the individuals that make about $30,000 a year and the individuals that make $350,000 a year. You see, as inflation runs rampant, taxes on the rich and interest rates are increased, the only people that truly get hurt are the people in that middle class. The people that don't know how money works and rely on a job with a salary to afford to live. When the economy comes crashing down, you don't see people like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk switching jobs and quitting Tesla and Twitter and Amazon to go find a new company to build. No, their lives are virtually not affected. They do the same things that they're doing right now that they would do in a recession. The ultra wealthy do not stoop down to the levels that the middle class face. Why? The rich don't hold cash. The rich don't have paper bills that just can be created out of thin air. They hold real estate. They hold businesses. They hold assets that preserve their value. They own Tesla, Twitter, Amazon, Facebook. All of these companies are assets. They're businesses. They make money on their own. They do not trade time for money like the middle class does. Instead, their time is ultra utilized by the employees that they hire to create a higher value. Essentially, that's all it is to it. Essentially, Amazon is a high valued company because they provide a high amount of value to everyday people. The real people that are hurt and the ones that really are affected by recessions are the ones that get fired. The people that were making $90,000 a year then lose their job and now are making $0. And the more and more the Fed continues to print money out of thin air, it creates a massive bubble. See, a massive bubble that will pop in the next coming years. This bubble will then create a massive recession or even a depression. So in the next couple of decades, we will see people who own assets will move up into that wealthy class. And the people who work on a salary, who trade their time for money, will move down into that poor class. And essentially, the middle class will be extinct. The rich will get richer and the poor will get poorer. The wealth gap is increasing, and either you join and lift all boats, or you'll be left to perish with the majority of the others. However, this video is not intended to convince you that the fall of humanity is right around the corner. Have you ever heard of the saying, if you can't beat them, join them? Yeah, you can hold out and continue to hate on the rich. And by all means, you can keep that mindset that will inevitably lead you to your demise. Or you can adapt. You can break free from the chains and become enlightened. You have the ability to control your actions. And you can essentially control the world around you so long as you don't let it control you. Adopt the same mindset that the wealthy individuals have. Surround yourself with like-minded people who want to grow and build themselves. They want to grow their wealth. If not in your real life, then continue to follow these pages. Watch videos that tend to preach about this upcoming wealth creation and how you can go out and take action yourself and build a healthy lifestyle with wealth, health, and knowledge all integrated in the same thing. But most importantly, what you need to do to ensure that you're not going to fall into this deep, dark, depressive state that we as a country are about to fall into, you need to start finding problems. You need to start finding problems that everyday people are going through and make solutions to those problems. Create businesses and companies derived around those solutions. Then you will have assets. You will grow and build a business that actually gives value back to people, that actually is allowed to get launched into the economy, into the consumer marketplace, so people will derive value from your asset. Your company, your business can then get excluded from that salary-based job. You can then make money at your own domain. You see, if you haven't realized it already, the rich don't get rich because they're lucky or because they solved the right problem. No, really and truly, the rich don't even care about money. The rich only use money to gain more and more of the resource that us as humans only have a finite amount of: time. So if you enjoyed this video, please, by all means, it took me a while to do, like and share it with your friends. Make sure to build a community around that wealth knowledge, the knowledge that people are not getting in actual educational systems, in the schools, in the universities. People do not receive this knowledge. So be sure to share it with your friends, your family, anyone who needs to hear this. And if you guys want to see a short story of a 21-year-old who actually earned 8 figures, go ahead and click this video.